Yeah, it's good. And Dave, our team online, actually, right now, who's running it online, is in Brisbane. So we got the whole international flair. We also have tonight, just quickly, we're good? Are we? Am I live? Oh, live. This is good. See, I saw all of a sudden. I saw. Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Silvers. I'm Vice President of Los Angeles Tribune. It's a night of the Los Angeles Tribune at Barnes & Noble. Give that a round of applause. If you're out there in the audience, it's interactive, which means we have a team that's watching the questions. We also, at the same time, know you're there. So we will be talking to you, and it's a great thing for us to be able to present that to you. I'd like to bring up my co-host for the evening as she gets ready and set. I know, it's great. Our COO, Miss Brisa Rose. Let's give her a thunderous round of applause. There you go.
Hello. Welcome. It's Thursday evening.
It is.
A nice, rainy, beautiful Thursday evening here in LA. But for those that came out, those that have traveled far, thank you. We appreciate you. Those that are traveling far via the internet, thank you. We appreciate you. It's good to have you all here with us.
You know, the great thing is that you actually just also, we'll talk about that in a minute, but you just did a show. You were Friday night, right?
I was.
You were.
Yes.
You did a big show. We'll talk about that too. And I know it's raining, right? So everybody in LA we know how that goes. Look, I was born and raised here, so I can say
on
that.
The rain.
Yeah, they're hunkered. They're like, the drizzle. I got to get. See, we don't use umbrellas where I live now, but that's okay. Yeah. But it's great to be here because it's about education, information, bringing out really the next generation and what we can do for the next generation.
Right.
So,
and really bridging, I think, the gap of understanding what we see as conversations with books, with authors, with those that have credibility and established careers and deep research and the knowledge. And really, I think, I love what we do is we bridge that gap and bring it here, let it be relatable and allow people to connect with it. And I think, connection and conversation, that's really the birthplace of change and of understanding, right?
I like that. It is true. That's good. And also, if you're listening to this, please share with everybody that you know, because when it comes to sharing, you're giving information to somebody else. You're letting them take in the information. They can decide what they'll do with it, which is the great thing of how we learn. But at the same time, if you don't, then you're not giving them the opportunity to learn, to listen, to be there, and to be part of a community that's worldwide. And we're really excited by that. So what you're going to see is you're going to see many speakers up here. We're going to have a panel through the night. And again, if you have any questions, put it online. Our team will be watching that. If anything else you have that comes up for you and doesn't get addressed tonight, right, we'll give you a way to contact us, because that's always a great way. Have Dave just put my email address on. This is where I would get the funny emails.
Right.
Right? They're like, hello. They don't say anything else. So, all right. So, for the beginning of the evening, Chris and I are going to have a discussion because you just had a very major event Friday night. So,
can we say it?
Yes, we can. We're here. No, there you go. You take that. I'll take this position here. We're good. So, tell us a little bit about Friday night. How'd that come about?
So, Friday night, I was here at Barnes & Noble, the glorious Barnes & Noble here at the Grove, and I had my own book signing, which was super. I want to say special. Special doesn't do it justice. I will say that as a person that grew up with definite challenges with comprehension, I'm very much a metaphorical thinker, so the traditional format and teaching style in schools didn't necessarily work well for my processing style. I do know that now. But as someone that had a harder time with comprehension and writing and expressive outputs just through not even writing, but just articulating anything, to know that I have a book that I've authored now, and that it's out in the world and people can consume it and read it and listen to it, and that I got to do my own book signing, and never, ever, ever once in my life imagined that was going to happen. But I did know from quite a long time ago that it was definitely a calling of mine, is that I needed to find that authority within my own voice and follow the prompting that I like to call from the Holy Spirit personally. That prompting, and just to know, okay, you're supposed to speak, you're supposed to do these things. It might be a little more intimidating, but it's okay, just go, do. You don't have to understand it. Just do it. And I did it. And I got to partner with an incredible co-author now, Fab Morvan of Milli Vanilli. He asked me over a year ago now to bring forth his memoir and to write it. And so I got to go on a really cool journey with him for last year, and very intense, very involved, and very deep. I got to really invest in his family. His family invested in mine, and it's been a really great experience, I will say that. And yeah, we got to have our book signing here last Friday night. It was very rainy, same thing as it is today and tonight. Very rainy, but just to allow us, the two of us, to be able to express some of the process and the intricacies that you would normally or otherwise know. We have to share that with people, and that part, I will tell you, that was so special, because it's just him and I on Zoom for a year. And not that everyone needs to know all the nitty-gritty details, but to be able to appreciate the process, I feel like it helps other people understand how to appreciate their own process. And to know that, like, whatever you're working on, that time is not squandered if you just keep that in mind, that no matter what you're working on, it's worth it. It's just keep going. It may not make sense. It may be completely scattered and messy and have no direction yet, but it will come to form and be something really great. And I absolutely feel like that was the outcome of Friday night. It was like, hey guys, we've been working on this thing and we're actually a really great duo. We're really great, we have a really great partnership, a really great trusted interaction with one another. And it was really cool to share that with people.
The great thing about that is you talked about really that partnership that you created. And it's sometimes we're always in a rush and we don't find that person, or we find somebody and we're like, okay, they're good enough. Let's just go. And in many ways, he happened exactly when you were ready.
Yes. Oh, that's good. No one's brought up that point before. Yeah, as I kind of mentioned earlier, is that like when I was younger, I had definitely comprehension, they say issues, but they weren't issues, they're just differences, and to know that years ago, I knew I was supposed to write a book. I know I'm supposed to write many, I know that. But I knew that I was supposed to write a book, but to know that this was my first book ever that I wrote, and to know that it was someone else that was asking me to help them out with their book, with their memoir, which is their life's work that their kids are supposed to read. And it's meant for their kids to read. It's dedicated to his children. To know that, like, he caught me exactly when I was ready. And we met exactly when he was ready as well. It took him 35 years to be ready. And the point is, like, it's not about the time frame, or how old I am, or how old he is, or how many years have passed. It has nothing to do with that. It's about when you're ready. It will come. The people that you're supposed to do these things with, they'll be ready exactly at that time too.
It is, and I've been hearing about this, right?
You have.
And it really, when it comes together like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you also took the time to get to know him.
Mm-hmm.
You took the time to understand what the underpinnings were and really what this was about and what this meant. And you made it, what's great is, even though you're co-author, you made it about him. Mm-hmm. And you really were there. And I think that's a big thing. Sometimes we have to remember that. Don't forget the other person. Don't forget that there's somebody else there. That's sometimes we are moving so fast. We have our own agenda, and we sort of lose what that other person, is about, or what their message is.
Right. I love that you said that, because being that Fab is someone that has been, most people in the world have at least a reference to Milli Vanilli, right? And most of it is about a scandal, about them being frauds, blah, blah, blah. Read the book, you'll find out the actual story, all of that, okay? But the thing is that, like, he's well known, and people scrutinize everything about him. But number one, he's well known around the world. He's well known online, in person. I've been with him in person in different cities, different states. People know him, they recognize him just right off the bat. And for someone to be that well known, he never, ever, ever once made me feel like I was smaller than him. Never once. He always treated me as a direct equal and a direct necessity to his process, and a creative equal. As a first-time author, I will tell you, life-changing. Also, life-changing for future partnerships. Because I'll tell you, Fab, when you listen to this, he's absolutely set the standard. That is, I find, a very remarkable experience to have. And I'll tell you that in different interviews that he has, that he goes on to different, like, news stations or any kind of interviews. There's a lot going on right now. But he always makes sure to mention my name. He doesn't need to dim me and my contribution, and he always credits the work that we did together. And even I was looking through my phone last night, looking through the photos from Friday night, and so many of the photos where it was time for him to take a picture, time for us to take a picture, and then it was time for me to take a picture solo. He always moved out of the way, so I had my moment. And I'm not seeking, like, all these moments. If you know me, you know me. That's not what I'm seeking. But it was a necessary moment for the evening. And he never pushed, he never tried to get in there. He was like, no. She needs that space. And that's critical, to know that the people you work with allow you to have your own space, that they also protect and breathe that space for you,
that is an important piece. And I want to bring this up because I think this is important to know. And I think it's honoring those that are obviously involved in the project and what you brought to the project. But there's a Grammy nomination, isn't there?
There is. Yeah. Yeah. It's sometimes for me, I'm like, I'm a first time author. I have a book out now. This is a big deal because it is a big deal. And exactly at the exact same time. It is at the same time of this whole Grammy process. And I say Grammy process because it's a brand new thing for me. I'm not an artist in that sense. I'm a creative, very creative. I'm just not a musically inclined artist. But with the Grammys, there is a category for best audiobook, narration, and storytelling recording. That is the official category. And many months ago, not that many months ago, but a few months ago, we had this idea came forward on our team, like, hey, what if we just went ahead and had him record the book because it's going to be written anyway? What if he recorded it, and what if we submitted it? Just to know that, like, we had the audacity to do that, considering the story of Milli Vanilli, right? And I'm over here like, oh my gosh, that's not my jam. Okay. But it's kind of audacious, and it's the context of the book is exactly what the music industry needs to see and read and hear. So for me, knowing that I followed that nudge to write the dang book, I was like, okay, I see you. I see what you're doing here. You want it to have a bigger audience. It's not about me. Okay, let's do it. So we went ahead and decided to move forward with the audiobook, and I got to dive in with Fab as he recorded all the things and all of that. And we submitted, and we submitted it. I'm not gonna lie, like the final day that you could submit for any kind of any projects you could submit for this upcoming Grammy season for 2026. And we found out on November 7th, that we were one of the 5 nominated out of 175 books. Kind of wild. So now I'm officially a Grammy nominee. That's weird. But
give that
cool.
a thunderous round of applause.
Cool. But it's for the overall mission. That's the thing. For me, it's not about the optics. For many, it can be, and that's okay if it is. But for me, it's about that there's a reason why I wrote that. I was called to write that book with him. I was called to inject some of the things that were placed in that book and to let a much wider audience read these things and listen to these things. The world needs these things that are in that book. So for me, I'm like, that's the special piece. So thank you.
Give Priest a thunderous round of applause. Thank you. We're gonna, but just amazing. And you know what you heard the whole time, and then we're gonna just move on. But I didn't want to let you go yet. Was it's always about service. Mm-hmm. It's always about doing it for others. And that is the piece that we talk about all the time.
Always.
And that is the driver behind everything that we do. And at the Los Angeles Tribune and our CEO, Mr. Mo Rock, we're making a difference one person at a time and making sure that we're always serving everybody out there. So give Priest a Rose a big thunderous round of applause.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back and be able to feature and support and serve other speakers and other authors today. Truly. That's why we're here nearly every month or almost every month.
I know. We seem to live here. It's like, it's good. Should we just get I know. It's too funny. Our audience is going, we know that backdrop. We know the Tribune. This is good. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm just here. I got my schedule right behind me, but they printed it. It came out so little. I'm like, okay, now I'm past, by the way, 25. So I'm going like this. No, I know who's next. Okay. So with that being said, our next gentleman we're going to bring up, what should we say? Because he flew a long way to be here.
A long way. From across the largest.
It's just not a pond, right?
It's not a pond. It's like the largest water mass in the world, literally.
Yeah, it really is. And it really, if you were shooting for Antarctic, basically you would hit them and then you'd be on the ice. So
facts.
It's a good way. This is good, isn't that? See, we know our geography. We did that in school. See?
Exactly.
I could see a map and I could see positioning. So, and I didn't read till I was 10 years old, by the way.
What?
Yep, I didn't read. I had to go to the USC reading it. Oh yeah, no, I
Wow.
didn't. So that's a story for another day.
You know what? I love this.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're
live.
welcome. You're welcome. I guess we should. Anyways, so let's without any further ado, let's give a thunderous round of applause for our Australian representative. He runs everything tech for us, Mr. Jeff Ross.
Well, Michael, I did not know that fact about you, but now I do. Now everybody else knows too. Well, everyone, thank you very much for the opportunity to be up here once again. It's my third time. Can you believe it? 3 times I've been in LA for the last 6 months and be back here in January. Life is full of fun and adventure. Well, the next gentleman I'm about to introduce is becoming a dear friend. I actually met Dr. Jaya in Atlanta last July. Dr. Jaya, come to the stage, please. Dr. Jaya is known as the Hood Motivator. He's an amazing speaker on all things leadership. And we're just going to have a pretty amazing conversation right now and help the audience get to know you a bit better, as much as I get to know you. Well, Dr. J, I always love to start here and ground with the audience, get people to learn a bit more about your story. And like we just did a really amazing podcast on the Laptop Lifestyle Dad Show.
Yes.
It went live a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, yes.
And just make sure that it's turned on. Yep.
Can you hear me? Yep.
Yeah. And you have such an amazing story,
Right.
you know, from the hood to the military and until the speaking audience here in the personal development and leadership world. It's an amazing story. So if you can, like in just a couple of minutes, I know that's hard, give our beautiful audience some context on where you started and how did you get here?
Okay. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Thank you. I'm a kid from Los Angeles, California, from Long Beach, born and raised. My family right here in the first 3 rows. Thank you for my father, my aunt, my cousin, my manager, my little brother, Shug, Ashton Silva, one of the world's top boxers in the world is back here. I support him too as well for our community. But at the end of the day, from Long Beach, California, born and raised, had a hard bringing. My dad raised me as a young black male in the Long Beach community. But we started off in 101st and Avalon. I saw a lot of drugs, a lot of gang violence. My father was very strict on me, but my mother was dying of AIDS. She was living on Skid Row. She was going through her 12-step program, and then she ended up passing away when I was 9 years old. I didn't understand that. It was a story that nobody could conceive, and he couldn't even predict that, but he did the best he could to raise us in the situation where we was at in Long Beach, California. My father was a preacher. I could have swore he was in the military because he had me doing some militant things when I was little to keep me on the narrow straight, keep me away from the gangs. But I end up navigating and going through that process and finding my own way through. And, I end up going to the county jail after my father made me, he put me out. He was hard on me after high school. I wasn't listening. I was being hard-headed. I was selling weed to try to go to Long Beach Community College. I was gangbanging in Long Beach, just doing a bunch of bad stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And I end up in the county jail. And when I end up in the county jail, that's when everything just started to recollect. I know I didn't deserve to be there, but I saw a lot of my cousins, a lot of my uncles, a lot of my family members, navigating through that prison system. And then as soon as I got out of jail, 2 weeks later, I ended up in the United States Army after 9/11. And that's when my life took off. I left one war in Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Compton, and I went into another war fighting for terrorism. And I went straight and I did 3 combat tours in Iraq, got a Bronze Star, got injured in Iraq, lost a bunch of guys. Shout out to all the men and women that serve our country.
Yes, sir.
That period of time in my life, going through the military, I did 14 years serving our country, 3 tours in Iraq, 2 to Afghanistan. It was very hard to navigate that and understand what I tried to be as a young man, and then getting out the military, trying to find my place in society again was very hard. I hit rock bottom again, trying to find my place. And then I started a company, entrepreneurship. And that's the second hardest thing that you ever can do in your life, is start a business.
It's not for the faint-hearted, that's for sure.
It's not. I thought I was doing really good. I was serving people, serving my community. Then I went bankrupt after COVID. And that's when God said, hey, you know what? In our community, we don't know business, we know hustling. So he said, go get your master's degree, show them who you are. And then I heard my auntie's voice in my back of my head. Shout out to her. She used to always, she called me legend. Hey, show them who you are. So, after my fourth suicide ideation, I went back to school, got my master's of business because we don't know business. And then I started to give and speak life back into myself. While I was speaking life back into myself, my social media started to grow. I was just talking to myself. My dad is a preacher. Both my grandfathers are ministers. So it's innately put inside of me. As a little boy, my dad used to make me listen to Zig Ziglar. So I didn't know that was he was teaching me that as a little boy, how to become a speaker, how to understand who I was, how to be an entrepreneur. And he was just putting that inside of me, just like, dads that put basketballs and footballs in your sons and in your daughter's hands. He put the mic in my hand. He gave me the voice. He gave me the baritone. So I ended up January 2025 becoming the top 50 motivational speakers in the world. I did a show in Atlanta and got found by the Los Angeles Tribune, Mr. Jeff, and now it's game time. I appreciate everything I've been doing and everything that I've been putting it in. And I was just doing it just to save my life and just to touch other people's life. And now I'm on a stage now that I could touch multiple people's life and I could change my family's algorithm, because if you see what you have and you're a product of your environment, you don't think there's no way out, but there's a way out. And now to see the support that I have on the left side and with Jeff coming all the way from Australia, it took somebody from Australia to bring me back to Los Angeles to get me signed to the Tribune. So that's my story right there. And now I'm 1 year away from getting my doctorate in business.
Well done. That's an amazing story, and absolute, what I pick up through that story is the amazing resilience that you've had to go through, but also just the gratitude that you have for your father. And it's so good that you brought your father here tonight and we get to meet him in person.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, right? Gratitude. We need more of that in our world today. And I know you teach a lot on entrepreneurial and leadership principles.
Right.
And first off, I just want to say thank you for your service and everything that you've done to help protect this beautiful country and our world, bipartisan.
Thank you.
Absolutely very grateful for that. So if you had a moment just to share with our audience here online and with your beautiful family here too, what would you like to say as a moment of gratitude? Like, what would be something that you're really grateful for right now? Something that you would go back to the 20-year-old version of yourself and the journey that you've gone through from Compton to the military to here. What are you most grateful for right now in that journey?
I think I wouldn't take anything away how I grew up and how I saw the world and how my father and my aunts, his sisters, just spoke life into me. We didn't have much, but what they did have was speaking life into us as kids, and everything we were going through, we didn't know we was going through it that bad, because my dad would just look at me and say everything will be okay. So you hear the story, it's cliche. A lot of kids don't grow up with nothing, but what my father and his sisters and my grandmother had was, hey, it's gonna be okay. Get back up. Get back up, get back up. And I keep hearing that in my head. And I think that we should tell that to our kids, that we should understand that it's going to take a good group of people like us. The community and the society is struggling right now. We got food stamps that's ended. We got the government shuts down that just got back up. A lot of things are going on. So I think it's going to take a lot of positivity for us to understand and look each other in the eye and say, you know what? It's cliche. I love you and I'm proud of you. Get back up. You can fight this. You can win this war against negativity.
Very powerful. And wow. Very powerful. And as a father of three amazing young boys, myself and our oldest who has got MS and just gone through that journey, one of the things that we've come to realize as a family is it's going to be okay. And the world is starving for connection. It's starving for love right now. And it's such a beautiful message to just let our world know that it is going to be okay. But also with the rise of AI, with the rise of technology too now, as an entrepreneur online, and as a leader in your own industry, in your own field, how can we, do you feel, create stronger connections with using the technology that we have today, and especially with the young men, our young youth coming up? How do you feel that we could help play our part to create a stronger connection with the world?
I think we just create partnership with the AI. People don't understand that. People are scared of AI because it's doing things that they can't do. But if you get out there and do the things that the AI is doing and continue to learn, a lot of us get to a certain level and we don't want to learn anything else no more. And I think that we should be able to see the world as it is and travel and learn everything we need to know so we can partner with AI, because I have an AI and I'm a motivational speaker. And before I write my motivational speeches and before I improv and I talk life into my AI. I said, hey, this is Dr. McIntyre. I need you to come up, help me with a call to action on LinkedIn to do this, that, and the third. And if you get it wrong, hey, I need you to get this right. And every time AI comes back and does something wrong, I would say, hey, listen to my voice, follow me down this black tunnel. I need your help. Use my words, use my experiences. So if you partner with your AI and you use it as a friend and not be scared of it, it will work for you. So I think that as kids right now, and I'm saying it right now, I'm a year away from my doctor. AI have helped me tremendously.
Come on.
Use
Now the truth comes out.
I'm just telling you, I write my own papers. Kaiser, forgive me. I write my own papers, but I do dump my information into my chat GPT, and it's going to tell me, hey, that's not 12 font. That's not Times New Roman. That's not APA. Do it like this, do it like that. So that's what you got to do and understand, and never stop learning. Always continue to learn.
That's the big thing. Never stop learning.
I'm 44 years old, so it's like I'm a year away from getting my doctor. I don't know no doctors where I come from. My grandfather had a doctor in theology, but my community, they don't have doctors that look like me. So when I get my doctor, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in them classes that the kids can, and I'm inspired them and say, hey, you know what? Guess what? I want to be the hood motivator. He got a doctorate in business.
And I love how you are, like, you're in the leadership circles, but you're still authentically you, and you show up and you step up and shine. So I love how you're partnering with AI in that conversation. And I also feel as entrepreneurs and as mentors and as leaders for our community, we need to be partnering with our people that we're teaching too, and bringing up, right? So speaking to our younger generation, our youth especially, what would you have to say to them, the aspiring leaders, the aspiring entrepreneurs coming up? And how can they partner with or connect with, mentors like yourself to be able to help them to go through their journey?
First of all, we got as this generation, they don't like to raise their hand and say something is wrong, right? And I think that's cliche because at the end of the day, a lot of us deal with mental health, and that's a lot of things that we try to ignore, especially in communities like Los Angeles, Long Beach, Compton, things we see in this real world. We are a melting pot of ethnicities that's out here. So if you don't take care of your mental first, we can't inspire anybody else, because we can't fix somebody if we're trying to inspire somebody. So fix yourself first.
So
and
true.
When you fix yourself, the youth will see that. You have a champion boxer as Ashton ACO that's on top of the world right now. He wouldn't allow me into his algorithm if I wasn't fixing myself, because he already has it, right? If you see him walk out on cable TV on DAZN, he's fighting all these big fights. He's 14-1, Ashton? 14-1. You know what I'm saying? The kid is awesome, but he wouldn't. That kid wouldn't let us around him if you're not doing the work. And I think that you got to allow yourself, if you're going to talk about a situation, do the work first. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, we've run out of time. Okay. But I love to keep going. Like, we could talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles, right? But
should have gave me the mic.
Should have given the mic. Let's keep going. But absolutely brilliant getting to know you, mate. And it's been a pleasure to bring you into the Los Angeles Tribune Podcast Network family. And we're only just getting started.
I'm excited.
And we're about to launch your podcast on our network in the beginning of the year. And so watch this space, everyone.
Motivators Table, January, Apple, Spotify, tune in. We're about to turn up.
We're about to turn up. There you go. I'm going to use this new sling I'm learning.
Oh, yeah, turn up.
Facts. Did I use that right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir. It's been a pleasure. All right, everyone. We're about to swap mics. We're about to swap positions here for a second. I'm going to stay here. Okay.
You stay there. You got the hot mic, you know?
Oh, the hot mic.
Hey, Dr. J, that was great. Give him another thunderous round of applause.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. J.
So he has, the thing is, we got to get you a little more energy. We got to work on that, and that was awesome. So, part of this is we're continuing to make a difference. We're continuing to every day stepping in and saying, how can I be better? How can I make the world better? What can I do for other people? And you do a lot of that, don't you?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
That's good. I like that. So part of this is, by the way, I'm trying to keep him awake. Is that good? So I'm going to ask him lots of very pertinent, deep questions. Yeah, that's good. So Jeff, it's great to have you. It's great that you flew in this far. Right? It's a long flight, no matter how you look at it. So Annika will be back, and she had a long. So now you can discuss who had the longer flight. But tell us a little bit about what you do in Australia and your business.
Well, where do I start? I wear too many hats. Well, I'm now partners with you in crime. No, in the Los Angeles Tribune Podcast Network. I'm also the host of the Laptop Lifestyle Dad Show, and we're about to launch a new podcast called Unmuted. And my wife's flown over with me this time, so that's pretty awesome. And so we actually are pastors, or we're working towards being accredited pastors for an online church that we started 18 months ago. And I'm a proud father of 3 amazing young boys and beautiful husband to my beautiful wife. I better throw that in.
Give Jeff a round of applause here. You know, you do so much and you wear many different hats. But what's interesting is as entrepreneurs, that always becomes an issue, is either we get into too many things or too little because we start to limit ourselves. But you're balancing it really well.
Thank you for noticing. It's been 17 years in the making to get that right. And I think where it's come into that play to really support that is getting very, very clear on what the purpose-driven life is all about and understanding what is my personal mission and then how can I fit all the other things that I'm a part of in part that bigger, wider picture. And I love what Parisa was talking about with that, you know, that story with, you know, the whole book with Milli Vanilli and, you know, and all of that conversation and finding yourself, like finding your voice, if you will, inside of all those cells. It's like very cellular.
And, you know, it's the kind of thing that as we, you know, this is, by the way, hi, everybody. I always see, I forgot, right? Hi, everybody out there. As this really is an international mission, it's being able to speak the language as people can hear it and understand it. At the same time, sometimes it's just that heartfelt mission. And I think that sometimes, let's never forget that, because have you ever been with somebody and you speak different languages? I mean, you know, we did events in 82 countries, but, and you're standing right next to them and you can just feel it. There's that, you're both humans. It's that humanity between the two of you. And sometimes we do too much of this, right? Remember the old, we have 2 of these and 1 of these, and there's a reason for that. But it makes a difference. And really what you do, and I've noticed this as an entrepreneur, is you listen to your clients. Talk about that.
That's a learned skill too, because I can talk underwater. Just ask my wife. But yeah, it's like I have ADHD. I think every entrepreneur really does. And it's learning to be what I call active listening. And I think that's what's helped me to be a much better interviewer and a much better leader in my own way. And learning to, you know, in that space with active listening, but also learning to bring that conversation in still to keep steering the ship to where it needs to go. So we can always be moving forward. We're always going the right direction, but learning to be fluid enough, like the oak tree. You know, the oak tree's got deep roots, but if a windstorm comes along, you can still bend if it needs to and not break. So actively listening is a learned skill for sure. And that's also about learning about, you know, body language and tonality and all of that sort of thing to be more effective, more empowering. But the big thing for me was when I got out of my head and I got out of trying to perform all the time, I got out of the space of, you know, trying to please everybody and just got into the space of being active and being of service and how can we, you know, make it about others rather than about me. That helped me to be a more effective listener for sure.
And it, you know, the great thing is, and we talk about this all the time, it takes time. It's like seasoning. It's, you know, when you put the seed in the ground and it takes time to grow, you put the water in, the fertilizer in, but it still takes time. And there's that tendency of being impatient. You know, entrepreneurs are very impatient. I want it now. I want it now. Yes, we want it. Actually, we want it yesterday. And it's really that part of ourselves where we can look at that bigger picture. And sometimes if you've affected that one life, how we make a difference. And it's very different in social media, right? And it ebbs and flows. We had, obviously, anybody remember MySpace, right? And now we have TikTok, and now anybody know Substack? So it's always changing. There's always something coming. But don't be in such a rush. Really take a look at it. What is it that you want? Stay on target. Shiny baubles are always going to be out there. That's just pretty pictures that maybe you want, maybe you don't. And have a team. Talk about a team around you.
Very important to have a team of people on the right seat on the right bus. And I have worn my heart on my sleeve so many times over these 17 years. And I've put trust in people thinking that, you know, if I just give them a little bit of flexibility, I give them a little bit of trust, but it's very easy to, you know, get betrayal. And so learning to trust people and not become hard and callous for when they do make mistakes or they do betray you, and learning to, well, it's what I call playing life above the line. And there's only so many things that I can take ownership and accountability and responsibility for, but I expect that from the rest of the team too. And it's very, very clear on that. And so with the culture that we run with our teams, it's very much how can we be of the same purpose, the same mission, the one heart, the one mind, the one body, but at the same time have enough flexibility and fluidity in the process that's helping people to step into their own gift and step into their own ownership space. And then as a leader, this is the hard part I've learned, I'm still learning, is to let go. And I've learned a lot of that from you over this last 18 months.
Letting go. That's a big one, right? And you know, because life is not linear. We want it to be. We work on it. We got to the moon somehow, but how many times did we go off course?
Well, I'm on course about 3% of the time, isn't it?
It's just, we got there. It's still amazing to me. And some people believe we don't, but that's a story for another day. So it is truly walking that path, and walking the path of the entrepreneur is one step at a time, step forward. But part of my success has also always been, it's a tribe, it's a team, it's a family, it's a community. It's empowering those around you to do more than they think they can and letting them step out.
Very much so. And I know with the team that we're creating, one of the core attributes of that team is loyalty. And when you have those sort of core values and those core attributes of like minds working the same mission, then when stuff happens, because it does, it's life, there's a bit more grace, there's a bit more understanding, there's a bit more compassion in the whole journey. And that's that letting go part. But at the same time, it's, you know, how do we, you know, we've got to have boundaries. We can't control it. And as a control freak, I'm working very hard on that. But we can't control it. But at the same time, we need to steer it as a captain of the ship. And I believe we've just got the 1 minute cue. So
she's good.
She's doing
too.
a great job.
Christine, when Dr. Christine says it's time, it's time. So Jeff, thank you so much. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for flying in. Thank you for being part of everything that we do. Thank you for really helping the Tribune and running with the summits and everything that we're bringing from a message position to help the planet. I appreciate more than anything. Give Mr. Jeff Ross a thunderous round of applause.
Thank you very much. And I just have to give a huge thank you to the woman behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, she doesn't know. It's about to bring her up just for 10 seconds.
Yeah, there you go.
She's not. So you go.
I'm going. See you later, bye.
This is just Sarah, I promise. Just for give Sarah Ross a big thunderous round of applause. So you can jump on the chair. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything that you do. And you've literally got 30 seconds, but tell us about your podcast.
My podcast is called Taboo Talk with Sarah. And I called it that because it gives me permission to talk about anything I want to. Because I've been a massage therapist for 25 years. And I kept hearing people going through exactly the same things, but feeling like they were all alone. It's like, hey, you're all telling me, so you're definitely not. So we need to go and tell the world.
I got nothing else to say. So, all right. And, you know, I really appreciate everything that you do. You've been also part of the summits. You were just on the last one. That was fantastic. You bring the message out, and you're really there to heal the planet. Anybody there? I've got grandchildren. So anybody's helping heal the planet, life is good. So give Sarah a thunderous round of applause. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm so excited I get to be in the room for this one.
I know. See that? I know. And you flew a long way to do this. So, yeah. And you brought the rain with you, you know?
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. They say I'm from Seattle. That's good. So, all right, give Sarah a big round of applause. All right, I'll take it. All right, I'm going to turn the show back over. I'm turning the show back over. No, not yet. You want me? I can talk all day long. That is not a problem. So, by the way, you know, any entrepreneurs here? Raise your hand if you're an entrepreneur. Fantastic. Anybody online or anybody have an online presence? Raise your hand. Fantastic. Anybody just here because they got nothing else to do? No, that's okay. Good. You know, it is. And by the way, I'm going to talk to the online people for a minute. Don't go anywhere. It's not a bathroom break. So, you know, we want to thank everybody for being online. You have literally been on the shows with us. You hang out. You stay on. We did a show. We do the leadership show. It went, what, 10, 12 days? I don't know. It just, and we had some audience. They'd be on every day. they'd be listening every day. And that is because, again, we're bringing everybody we can out to you for your learning, for your education, and to really make a difference in your life every single day. And the greatest thing is that I always want you to know, do one thing every day. Because if you do one thing for somebody else every day, you're going to make a difference in your life. You're going to change their life. And right now, share the show. They're going to go, oh, God, he's trying to sell something. We're not selling anything. Share the show. It's like you love it when you listen. So we have a podcast division. Any podcasters here? Okay, so we have a podcast division. And, sometimes podcasters, they get into that YouTube rhythm. Subscribe, click on the like and all of that. And what they're doing is they're saying, join the community. It's okay. If it's their business, it's still, but if they're giving you a message or information that helps you in life, that will make a difference every single time. And if that's what they're doing, it's okay. I was told a long time ago, because there's this other thing, right? Anybody ever been to an event where they sell something? Raise your hand. Have you ever been sold anything? Raise your hand, right? So first of all, you made the choice to be there. Right? Absolutely right. You made the choice, unless you were dragged. Anybody been dragged to an event? I was. Okay, it happened. Secondly, we make those decisions. But a long time ago, there was this gentleman named Bob Proctor. And I asked Bob very simply, what are 2 things to be successful? This is many, many years ago. He said, very simple, Michael. You're going to read every book. Now remember, I didn't read till I was 10. So thank you, books on tape, at the same moment that Bob's telling me this. Secondly, he said, invest in everything, because you're going to invest in yourself. Always invest in yourself. Never stop investing in yourself. And what I realized he was saying to me very simply was, every time you say yes, as long as it's ecological, write that down at home, no harm to yourself or others, you're opening up. The minute you say no, you're closing down. And it's a lot harder to open back up again. So as long as it fits that parameter, which is ecological, no harm to yourself or others, say yes. Because there's a tendency of us saying, we say no really quickly. We shut things down. We get fearful. We have programming, or something's happened in our life, or there's been a trauma or PTSD or whatever it is that is stopping us. So if you have that going on, start to find others around you. Find others around you who say, let's say yes and see what happens. Let's do this, and let's do the test. Is it ecological? Is it any harm to yourself? Not really. Is it any harm to others? Not really. So let's do it. And that's how we step forward every single day. So homework assignment for those of you at home. What I want you to do tomorrow morning when you get up, that means your eyes are open. Everybody got that part? So when you get up, your eyes are open, you put your feet on the ground, you stand up. What I'd like you to do is do that test. I'm going to do something for somebody today. And with that, I'm going to do the ecological test. We good? Okay, good. That's not a problem. So do that test and say, is it a harm to myself or anybody else? Nope, it's not. So I'm going to go help somebody do that. Now, what I don't want you to do, we've done this before in very large audiences, and somebody will write on like one of the blogs a couple weeks later, I was getting my brother up. He's so lazy, and I got him in, blah, blah. That's not what this is about. This is not about pushing others into doing something they don't want to do because maybe they haven't done the test. So you do the test, and then also make sure those around you have an inkling of what you're doing. Does that make sense? And just try that. Why don't you try that once this week, maybe once next week, and do it every single day. Also, if you're ever in the position that you're not feeling like you're having a good day, go assist. Go help somebody else. Go do something for somebody else. Go to a soup kitchen. Help somebody who's whatever that is. Make a difference every day. And that will be the greatest thing that you can do. And life is great. So, without any further ado, I'd like to bring back, I'll get them, they're ready. I'd like to bring back to the audience, is that good? To the stage, Parisa Rose. Give her a thunderous round of applause.
I'll take this one. You can hang with me while we allow our next guest
I'm hanging.
getting settled for a moment.
We're always settled.
We're always settled.
We're always ready.
I mean,
Yeah, we're here.
hey, We weathered through all of the things.
The weather. Oh, you brought up the weather.
15-hour flights.
That was good.
Or the 3 hours in LA traffic. Or the hour flight. I know that many of you do. No.
Yeah. Remember in LA, it's 20 minutes wherever you go.
You know, I heard that growing up. I've yet to experience that.
And
is. I'm an Angelino through and through.
See, but
that's false.
It's something. It's something to focus on. It's something to move in a direction and just focus on.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
Good. By the way, if you don't live in LA, and you probably don't since you're online, or who knows where you are, it's 20 minutes wherever you go. Come to LA. We'll show you what it's like.
It's 20 minutes of strategy.
Yeah, that's it.
Of what freeways and then alternate ways.
You know what?
Right?
Listen to a podcast. That's what I'm going to tell you. Listen to a podcast. You'll learn, right? Right?
Or listen to our comedy podcast that we don't have, that we might now need to have because of this.
This is a good one. That's right. Who knows where we're going to start? You know, and we're going with the flow. I like that.
Exactly.
This is just good.
Well, I want, before our next speaker comes up, you know, I want to say that we have on our schedule, we have a handful of more speakers to go. And they're all, I will say, as I was reviewing everyone, very different, but there's some really strong commonalities that I'm really excited to have everyone experience. And the two words that I'm going to repeat with everybody are two words that I mentioned earlier, which were conversation and connection. And I think that one thing I think I've realized over the years of learning how to gain the authority of my voice, as I mentioned before, is that it really just it comes down to allowing yourself to hear your self-talk, like hear your own words, even if it's to yourself. I remember years ago back on Clubhouse, if those of you that are familiar with Clubhouse, if you're not, it still exists and it's still a really cool place to be. Go ahead and check it out. But it's an audio-only app, and during the pandemic, a lot of us, there are many millions of people that found ourselves there, and there are these rooms that would on all types of topics and conversations and everything. And it was at a time where I knew that I needed to get comfortable, becoming more comfortable with allowing myself to speak in front of people that I didn't know. And especially because no one can see you. And of course, like I think people seeing each other, it's more intimidating, but people just evaluating you and judging you and observing you and all of the things, scrutinizing you just based on the sound of your voice. So if you were to like not look at me and just hear my voice, that's all that you could, you know, evaluate me on. And I remember joining some rooms and meeting some really great people that encouraged me, like, you need to keep talking. People need to hear what you have to say. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try. And then I was put in situations where they're like, no, you don't have a choice. You're going to speak. And I'm so grateful for that, because the conversations that I had allowed me to connect with people in ways that I had no idea I could connect with people from all across the world, and people that I would have honestly assumed that I couldn't have had such a great connection with. I feel like I can connect with a lot of different types of people pretty easily, but that simple conversations blew my mind with the power of connection through conversation. And it doesn't have to be scripted. It doesn't have to be super articulate, right? No. It just has to be the willingness to talk, the willingness to share, and the willingness to let it be messy. Dare I say that? Let it come out however it's going to come out, you know?
And part of that, you know, it's the conversation, right? It's having the conversation with each other that really creates, and messy is when we believe in our lives that we have to look good for others. Mm-hmm. That's an issue. I was listening to, he's a podcaster and YouTuber, I'm not going to say or whatever, and he's 64. He was talking about those things that he does not care about anymore, being 64. And one of them is how people perceive him. He is who he is. He's lived a great life. He's done good things and gone from there. So I'm going to turn the show over to you.
Exactly. I think that it is powerful what you just said. I don't want you to like walk away because you just said something very powerful.
That was a mic drop.
That was a mic drop. Okay. Don't drop it, but drop it. But I'm so lame. And I also don't care if people think I'm lame. That's the power of not caring anymore. And you have the freedom. And honestly, like, everyone's weird. If I'm just going to call it that, everyone is weird in their own way. Just honor your weird. Own your weird. Let it just be itself. Just be.
I love it.
All of it. Just be.
All right. You ready?
Oh, our next speaker.
I'm going to turn it over to you.
I'm not calling her weird, but I'm sure she would honor her own weird because she's in such ownership of who she is as a person. Miss Alicia Doss is our next speaker coming up. Alicia. Here you go. Hello, here you go.
Thank
Please
you.
turn that on.
I could go toe to toe with anybody. I'm weird. Just saying.
Ooh, I
I
love
really
this topic,
could,
by the
baby.
way. So feel free to have a seat. Thank you. So now, massive, drastic transition of conversation here. Not really, though. Not really, because it's just conversation, right?
Right.
So before you came up,
Yes.
I had mentioned that we have, of the handful of people we have remaining to come up and have a conversation, we've got an array of people with wide differences, backgrounds, expertise, all of that. However, as I was looking, I'm like, man, there's some really powerful things here. And the words conversation and connection came to my mind, which is why I just mentioned them. And so I would love to ask you, people, some people may be familiar with you, some people may not be. So with this question, please fill in our listeners online. So those of you that are online, hey. And those of you that are right here with us here at Barnes & Noble, allow the audience, allow the listeners to understand a bit of who you are through answering this question.
Okay.
And the question is, I actually wrote it down because I was like, this one I need to make sure I ask clearly.
Can I just say I'm so excited to be interviewed by you.
Ooh.
I have been waiting for this moment.
Have you? I'm honored.
I'm actually dead serious. Yes.
I'm honored.
Yes.
I feel like I've asked thousands of questions over the last year to one person in particular, obviously, to bring
Right.
forward a book. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's one thing that I have a strong handle on, are questions.
Beautiful.
So
that's beautiful.
thanks, guys, for enjoying my questions. Thank you.
It's
Alicia.
actually a real art to ask good questions. It really is.
I'm a very curious, inquisitive person. So this is awesome. Thank you for that.
Of course.
So the question is, with conversations, the concept, and this is the context, that conversations create connection. Okay.
Yes.
What is one thing you wish, or one thing you desire, that people would keep in mind when it comes to connection? Connection, you can also say true understanding, or authentic understanding, or a deeper understanding of the other, whoever the other is in that conversation.
Oh, I love that question. This is why I wanted to be interviewed by you. And by the way, can I just say congratulations? I am so
Thank you.
incredibly proud
Thank
of
you.
you. Yes, we talked about conversation just here a few weeks ago, or
Yeah.
I guess it was about a month ago, talking
Yeah.
about your experience writing the book.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I would say the answer to that question about connecting with other, I would quote, I believe it was a Maharishi who said, when someone asked him, how do you get along with others? He said, there are no others. There are no others. So that's the first thing I would say in connection. Like, if you really want to connect with somebody, you really look at them with beautiful openness and intimacy, because there is no other. We have these gorgeous, multifaceted faces of God, but it's just God's spirit, the universe, whatever we want to call it. That's all that's here. That's the only guy, girl, being here. And oh my goodness, could we please stop fighting over God? Would that be okay? Could we stop fighting about my God's bigger than your God, and I'm going to kill in the name of my God because it's not your God? Can we please come together? Because there's no other here. I'm half English and half Indian, right? Platinum blonde mom, dark Indian father, rural Indiana. The Ku Klux Klan would collect on the street corners, and my mother would shove us down and say, hide, and they would shake the car. And I was tiny, and I wasn't afraid. I was mad. And now I'm not mad, but I am passionate that there is no other. And that people are so much more. Have you ever, I don't know if you guys are like me and like dumb, because I have been in some sort of situation, and let's say like a woman is kind of like, because usually I will, because women, we can be like competitive, right? And I'll think that woman is judging me. And then I will get smart for just 1 second, and I will smile really genuinely and big at her and say something. And it completely lifts. And now we're BFFs because I got over myself thinking that she was somehow judging me.
You stopped taking it personally,
Exactly.
you know.
It started assuming the best. Started
Right.
assuming the best.
Exactly. So I want to direct this. Thank you for that. That was amazing. I want to direct shift a bit same question, but I want to direct it into a more specific context. Now, as I mentioned, and I speak from this frame of mind where I'm an Angelino through and through.
Yes.
I love the land of Los Angeles. I call it the land of Los Angeles because it's large. It is large, right? And earlier in the year, we faced some insane devastation. Now, you reside within one area that the fires were located in, which were the Palisades. I was raised in Pasadena, Altadena. So this conversation is something that has stayed with me, remained with me, and is something that I'm still so passionate and I want to see through to actually help with community impact.
Yes.
So when it comes to conversations and connection,
Yes.
what do you feel? What have you experienced that is one of the most potent, one of the most powerful things that you've experienced amongst your community that has helped lift some of the heaviness? Obviously, it's not going to absolve the destruction, right? But what's one thing that you've experienced through connection that has lifted something?
Girl, there are so many moments of glory in the midst of this devastation, and it has been 100% about the city wrapping its arms around us, because I literally ran through flames. I got trapped behind the 100 cars with a one-way in and out, searching for my son. I also had COVID. So I left very, very late, and I left with nothing. I took my dad's piece of the Taj Mahal and a small painting from my mother and the clothes on my back because I was running through the flames looking for my son. I found him. He was fine. I mean, all these nonprofits, all these strangers were no longer strangers. I mean, within weeks, I had clothes. It's so funny that came from all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, the conversations were suddenly so deep. There were no strangers anymore. All you had to say was Palisades or Altadena. And total strangers would just put their arms around you. You know, I shot Pillars of Power a week. I think it was 10 days into the fire. I still didn't know if my home was going to survive. I didn't know. I still owned one sweatsuit that I'd run out in. I went, and then other people had, as I mentioned, were giving me things, but it was like T-shirts. It was wonderful because it was clothing. But I went to a store the night before. It's this beautiful documentary that LA Tribune is doing. That this gorgeous woman is. Were you a producer or cast? What? Everything.
I'm
Everything.
just LAT support on that one.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, she's LAT fairy godmother, and so it's a high level documentary shoot, and I go the night before in my sweatsuit. Finally having tested negative from COVID. I had COVID for 10 days, almost the whole duration of the worst part of the fires. And I go there and into the store, and there's this gorgeous African-American woman there. And I walk into some random store. Now I'm a woman. We like to shop, do we not? I go in, right? Amen. Amen, sister, right? I go in and I said, I need an outfit. And she said, what do you want? And I said, I don't know. And I said, I'm shooting a documentary. And she's like, well, can you give me some guide? No, I don't know. And she said, okay. So she wraps her arms around me and says, honey, it's going to be okay. And she said, why is it going to be okay? And I said, because things are just things. And she said, right. The Lord's going to take care of you. And then she goes and she gets an outfit for me. She's like, do you like this? Let me, I don't know. So I buy the outfit, of course. I go the pants. I don't know if you remember this. The pants were like here. They were like 10 inches too long.
I do recall. Yes.
They were closed though. You had some new clothes.
I'm like, you can't show my feet. I wore the makeup artist shoes. And then I go there and I'm on the set with these gorgeous people. And we're talking about the miracles that had already occurred and the fires are still going. Do you know? And of course, my family at the LA Tribune wrapped their arms around me. I'm sure somebody gave me a shirt or something because everywhere I went, somebody was giving me an article of clothing. Oh, somebody gave me this shirt. This happens to be my sister's suit. Somebody gave me the shoes. So I'm sorry, I'm going on and on, but
There is no other.
there is no other.
To bring it back,
Exactly.
there is no other.
There is no other. And that's
Yeah.
the thing is you can say what you will about Los Angeles, but that city has wrapped their arms. We've wrapped our arms around each other, have we not?
We got some good bones here. I will say that. Well, we are at the close of our segment here. I will say that thank you for your shares. Thank you for your insight. I do feel that those that have been able to hear you speak are absolutely able to take away something that is meaningful to them. I will say that. I'm able to take away many meaningful things that you've shared right now. So thank you for sharing your heart and thank you for sharing your, the spontaneity of that question because you didn't know what I was going to ask you, of course. But thank you so much. You do have a book coming out next year.
I do.
Very soon.
I
So
do.
be look out for
July.
that. What is the title?
Your angelic ancestry.
Ooh.
Discover your angelic ancestry because we are all angels. Discover your archangelic name, heritage, and higher purpose.
Love that. So keep an eye out for that, everyone. And as it gets closer, we will definitely be talking more about that. But thank you for gracing us with your time and your talents and your insights.
It's always my pleasure.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we have up next, like I said, we have a variety here. And that's my favorite. I'll be honest with you guys. And you're like, I didn't ask, but I'm telling you anyway. It is my favorite to have a variety of people here. And so up next we have Pastor Troy. Pastor Troy, if you make it up here in your own time. Now, if y'all are not familiar with Pastor Troy, I've had the privilege to experience him on several of our broadcasts that we've had in the past. Then also on the phone, a few different conversations coming up. Go ahead and grab the mic. And I will say that if there's one sentence I could say about you, and I'm going to let everyone else get to really understand you and the heart of you as you get to share. There's one thing I would say about Pastor Troy is like he has the heart, and I say that with as guttural as I can get. I can't get very guttural right now, but he has the heart for people. And it's displayed in a lot of different ways through a lot of different organizations, a lot of different creative opportunities, creative things that he's spearheaded, the things that he's connected, the dots, the people, the expertise, the talents. I'm not even doing it justice, but I'm saying, just hear me on this. He's got the heart for people. So Pastor Troy, welcome.
Sister Rose.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me and my LA Tribune family. It's a pleasure to be here and just to be in this space with so many different creatives and stories of redemption and in this space. And I think this is the power of storytelling, right? Like when we come into a space like this, and it's so fitting to be in this space where you surrounded with so much material that's telling stories, right? Like to be able to use the art of storytelling to bring people together, right? And to create something that's an arc that lasts beyond just ourselves in this present space, but is generational, right? And also can be redemptive. So thank you guys for the ministry that you guys have, because it's important.
Thank you for being, for being in the same space, for sharing space, really.
Yes.
Because it's a very broad way to say that. But I feel that if we allow ourselves to remain unattached to certain outcomes or expectations, we can all thrive and really operate in our giftings and impact more. Because that's what we're actually here and focused on doing, is is service and meaningful, servitude, right?
That's right.
So I'd like to present a similar question to you,
Okay.
because I found that in my time of interviewing and asking questions, that you can even ask the same question to the same person,
Yes.
and you're going to get a different answer every time.
Totally.
And that's the magic in it, right? So I'd like to ask you the same question that I asked Alicia.
Okay.
And that is, with the context of that conversations create connection. Okay. What's one thing you wish people, or one thing you desire people would keep in mind when it comes to connection, or when it comes to greater understanding of another?
The Word of God uses the word conversation in two ways, right? It's double meaning, right? Which is conversation actually means citizenship, which points to identity, right? So when you're having conversation with people, it really is about understanding that person and being authentic in the space. You can't really have a conversation with somebody until you give space and you allow that person to be authentic in the space, right? So they have to be heard, right? Because conversation is a bi-directional process,
Yes.
right? There's a listening art and there's a speaking art. And so that means that it has to be a moment of silence so that you can be heard, right? And that's even when you're talking to your creator, right? When you're speaking with God. Sometimes we always are so much just sitting out and just praying and praying and praying, but we don't get space to stop and pause to listen. And so for me, when you are in community and you are really trying to understand conversation and communication, it really is about going into different spaces and giving space to breathe and understanding that identity is important because different people are different in different communities. That's my experience.
Ooh, people are different in different communities. Yes. Oh my gosh, we could probably go for hours on that one alone itself. I'm gonna take an exhale on that, give myself the room, because you got my little brain juices flowing right now with that one. I want to lean a little more into the giving room and giving space. For obviously it's two-way, right? I found, and I'm sure that you have experienced this plenty as well, that space, that silence, that need, that very ever-present need to just quiet, let there be that silence, causes such discomfort, even amongst people within themselves. I would love for you to speak a little bit into that.
When I started becoming an orator, I used to say, you understand what I'm saying? I would pause, because the uncomfortable silence of speaking, people want to fill the void. But when I went to Toastmasters, they teach you how to pause, not only to understand your audience, but give space to the silence. So you can collect your thought and command the speaking so that you can actually be heard. So you don't have to fill the space. And until you can get there, you can direct energy into something, whether it's holding a microphone, a book, a paperclip, a phone, or whatever, or just stay still. Really own the pause because it's actually your friend in communication. And if you can do that, you actually start understanding what it is to become an orator. That's what I'm learning.
I like to call that there's power in the pause. I learned that a while ago, and it very much can be felt in my speaking style and my writing style. I love the M dash. Don't let AI take away the M dashes. That's my PSA for this year, for this moment. Don't let AI take away the M dashes, because quality writing, quality writers use an M dash correctly. And if AI is using it correctly, then so be it. But don't let it take away the M dash, because the M dash and the N dash and just the dash create that pause, the very necessary pause,
Listen,
right?
when I was coming up to learn how to write, my wife, I tell the story in my book about my wife and when I first went back to seminary. I first go to seminary and my professors red ink on my paper. And then I come home, my wife is an English major, and then she red inks my paper. So I'm a black man. And you talking about ego bruise. Like I am like in this space coming out of addiction, head fog, like trying to figure out what I'm doing in this space. And God appoints me into this master class of being taught in this double space by these professors that love me, but then I get to go home and be taught by grace and to allow myself to sit under the tutelage of my wife. That's a lesson for every man to learn, especially black men. We don't learn that in our culture because it's an ego slap, but I was allowed that privilege and I'm grateful. That's why I sit here today with a book in my hand, because I allowed women in my life to help me get there.
Wise man, wise words, as said by a woman, just stating the obvious. And your wife is a wise woman with wise words, with obviously that's been blessed with grace to extend to you. So hats off to her. Hats off to her and to you. So I would love to know. So I'm grateful that I asked you that question because I got to understand your insight, your mind, and the way you reference the experiences in the world around you so beautifully. So thank you for that. We are at time for your segment. However, the reason why we did talk about your book is because I feel, and I found in general, that when you get to understand the mind of the author, it automatically draws people into what the author has worked on.
I know that's right.
Right? So your book is called From Skid Row to CEO. And if you're not convinced to check it out by his responses, I don't know what it might need to take. But I'm
Your
convinced.
past doesn't disqualify you.
Right.
It prepares you.
Where can we pre-order the book?
You can go to From Skid Row to CEO.org and you can make your order now.
From Skid Row to CEO.org. So .org, and place your pre-order there. Thank you, Pastor Troy.
Yes.
This has been amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, so good. As I said, guys, we've got some great people. I'd like to know, so those that are listening online, go ahead and throw this in the chat, and our team will let us know what the responses are. But for those that are here right now, I'm going to take a quick little shift before our next speaker comes up. What's one of the sound bites that's resonating with you most from our last two speakers, from Alicia and Pastor Troy? Go ahead and just spit it out. Spirituality. What other sound bites are lingering with you? Connection. Pause. What else? Space. Yes. Anything else? Togetherness. Yes. There is no other. Ooh. Did you have one? M dash. I second the M dash. You can tell personal issues with this whole situation. Anything else? Anything else? Anyone? I just want to give space for the really powerful words that were shared and allow a little bit of reflection to come forward, because I found that it's really helpful for the moment to land. So as we bring up our next speaker, our next incredible guest here, we have Dr. Frankie. Dr. Frankie, please make your way up to the stool with the mic to come have a conversation and connect. Awesome. This one is great. Yes. So Dr. Frank, you have quite, quite experience, quite the pedigree. You are an accomplished woman, as every person that's come up is accomplished in their own really beautiful, unique way. And like I said, everyone, we've got a variety, and no two people are at all even close to the same that have come up, and this is the best part about it. So as you were sharing with me earlier, your background, your expertise, your knowledge, your skill set, but also your vast understanding of some of the most intimate parts of ourselves. And I'm not going to share too much because I'm going to let her share. So if I'm giving you a little cliffhanger, so be it, and just live with it for a moment. But I'd love to extend the same question to you and allow you to answer that, but make sure, please, give a little insight into the context of how you're answering this, okay? Because this question came up for me as I wanted to ask everyone that was coming up, and I was like, ooh, this one is going to be, I'm foreshadowing. It's going to be potent coming from you, from your context. And although I've already repeated the question a few times, I'm still going to look at my notes.
I need you to repeat the question anyway.
Absolutely. So the context is conversations create connection. What's one thing you wish people, or one thing you desire people would keep in mind when it comes to connection, or when it comes to better understanding of another?
So many things, but the one thing that really jumps out at me is vulnerability. So I know a few guests got up here and talked a little bit about their hard past, and very early on, I was raised in New York City. I always say I was raised by wolves. My parents were in the fashion industry, very preoccupied with their own lives. And there I was as a little Frankie running around New York City with way too much access and no direction and no discipline and no boundaries. And I had to learn very early on to protect myself, wall up, because there was nobody there to protect me. So my journey has been about deconstructing the walls and the barriers, and finding vulnerability, becoming accessible to people, allowing people to feel me, to touch me, allowing myself to trust them, trust others, because hell, I didn't trust anybody. So on my journey to becoming a psychologist, it was humans confused the shit out of me. I didn't understand, it's like, well, you can trust people. It's okay. They're here to help. But no, they're trying to hurt me. This isn't making sense. And I feel emotional even when there was so much contradiction, and I wanted to believe it was true, but I just wasn't seeing it. So that's it. It's vulnerability, not being afraid to connect with people. So I'm echoing a lot of what people are saying, and just know that if you trust your gut, your intuition, your instinct, it's almost never wrong.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And thank you for the honesty. I feel like I'm going to call it the abrupt honesty. Thank you for that. Can I say that? Can I coin this phrase? Like, humans confuse the shit out of me. Like, yes, and amen. Because
they still confuse me.
Oh my gosh, yes. And it's the and that's probably my favorite word in the English language is the word and. Like, they confuse the shit out of me and still find some semblance of vulnerability. But the word I think you used access, right? You said allowing people to have access to me.
Yes.
Can you dive a little more into that?
Yeah, I became really good at deflecting and rejecting and coming up with every reason why that person can't be trusted and why I got to keep them far away from me. Having to slow down, take some deep breaths, and recognize that this is going to keep me isolated, alone, lonely, like a recipe for depression, anxiety. And I had to flip that on its head, right? And be like, okay, I'm gonna take this risk now, knowing that it's scaring the shit out of me because I want a different outcome. And I started to see that with every step of giving people a chance to access me and to see my love, to see my vulnerability, to see how much I care deeply about humanity. Like, I love humans. They scared me early on to the core, but I I have always been drawn to them, and I have found a way to have a different relationship with myself, starting with myself. Knowing I can trust me has allowed me to have amazing relationships with others. And I serve every single day of my life. That's what I live for. My whole career is about being in service to others.
Huge. Now, with that context, that has been painted a bit for everyone. Again, thank you. The access, that word is going to stay with me for a while because, man, we are definitely taught to guard and to be mindful and to move with what I will say with discernment and with wisdom, right? To not just let everyone have access. But I do feel like we've learned very much so the art of closing up and staying closed up. We don't realize how closed up we are until we do experience repetitive and consistent loneliness, which then leads to a myriad of other things, right? So I would love to have you share just for a minute or two on the context that you've painted for us, where it leads you to the work that is most meaningful to you. And it could be many things that are meaningful to you. So there's no hierarchy of meaningfulness here, however. Yes. But that work that is most meaningful to you now.
So like I said, I am in service every day. So I'm a clinical psychologist who also opened I've been practicing for 25 years as a clinical psychologist, but 17 years ago, I opened a professional matchmaking company focused on the LGBTQ plus community. I kept seeing in my office singles that were struggling, straight and gay, to find quality partners that wanted to have long-term relationships, that were willing to be messy. Like, these are people that were in my therapy office that recognized the challenges that their childhood, like the repeated behaviors that were coming up, and they were willing to do the work. And I thought, I want to introduce my 9 a.m. with my 5 p.m., but it's unethical, confidentiality, HIPAA, and I couldn't do it. So I had to find a way around it. So I did. I just, I put up a website for $2,000. And I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. There was no industry for matchmaking. I would go to events and talk about my passion and what I do, and people would laugh at me. And I'd be like, oh shit, maybe this is the wrong direction. And I kept following my heart. Like, when you're in alignment, you know that this is right where you should be, lean into it. Because a million people are going to tell you, don't do it. Don't do it. You know what I mean? There's naysayers anyway, everywhere. But always. I know I don't want to talk too much, but I have a podcast. I'm writing a book with 2 other psychologists right now about our shadow sides. You know what I mean? Recognizing how our childhood repeats itself in behaviors, vulnerability, intimacy, all that. Oh, yeah. And I do matchmaking. I work with clients. I have a large team of matchmakers that work with me, under me. I've taught them how to search, how to screen, what is compatibility, what does that look like, attachment. I mean, so as a psychologist, I educate people, and then I bring people together for love, connection, and I teach them how to survive in a relationship and thrive, right? To start in relationship initially not with a ton of skills necessarily, and we give them the skills so that they can thrive. So
amen to that. Skills to thrive. Oh my goodness. We all need those continually, right? I always say, like, if you're alive, you are here, you get to learn, be receptive, be open, and valuable, right?
Ongoing. I've been in therapy since age 5. I've been a therapist 25 years. Let me tell you, I'll be going to therapy on and off the rest of my life, and I'll be struggling at certain points.
Because it's called being human.
And being intimate.
Right.
When you allow people access to you and you care for them, you're going to sometimes get hurt. It's a fact. It's going to happen. It's guaranteed.
Right. And it's okay.
It's okay. And it gets messy. Right. No, it's going to happen. It's going to get messy, but stick in. Yeah. That's how you grow.
Heck yes. Okay. We are at the close of our segment, but I want people to know where they can find you.
Oh, Dr. Frankie. Just search Dr. Frankie. Littlegaybook.com, drfrankie.com.
Frankie with an IE.
IE. Yeah. I have a YouTube channel. It's been around for 17 years. I talk, also sex. I'm a board certified sex therapist. So I talk about all the uncomfortable things that people want to avoid. Ooh. I love it. I love the messy. Bring it.
All the things. Let's go. Awesome.
Thank you.
So good to have you with us here.
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Well, thank you very much.
Silvers, welcome back.
Ready to go? Here we go to the next part?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. We'll see you back in a minute, won't we?
Sounds good, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, you can put that one just down there. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So, by the way, when we are done, we have, watch this. This is a book. We have you know it's true. So go back to the back. We have some of those books left. Prisa will be doing a book signing back there, and talk to her about it. We also have back there Lead with Intelligence. Carmen, who will be on our next panel, the book will be back there, and I want you to go back and talk to her. Everybody, right? Talk to her. See, just have a conversation. That's all you're doing. And if you want to pick up a book, they're back there for you too. That's always a good thing to do. So, because we support those, we support local authors, we support people who are really making a mission and making a difference. So with that being said, panelists, if you know you're going to be up on the next panel with me, come on down. Wait, what show was that from? No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Right? CBS Studios is right there. All right, come on, here we go. Give a round of applause. Annika, I'm going to pass that down so it's down there. All right. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to teach the audience. We're not going to have enough mics, so we're going to do some passing too. Go ahead and have a seat over there, Carol. Okay. Can I have that mic too? Yep. Because you're sort of in the middle. Can you two take care of Carmen? By the way, I have my back to the camera. Don't ever turn your back to the camera, because then the audience doesn't feel, it breaks your rapport and all that stuff. But I've done this a long time. So with that being said, I'm going to have each of you introduce yourself. If you've never been, and I'm going to pace, and now I'm going to drive you guys crazy. So back to the camera again. If you've never had a panel with me, answers short and sweet. That's how we say it, right? And we always want to make sure that the audience feels they're part of the panel. So don't forget that they're there. Yeah, I know they're watching me back here, and we got a team talking to them anyways. So with that being said, we're going to go through the panelists. They're going to tell you a little bit about themselves. They have no idea what I'm going to ask. They have no idea why they're even up here, but they're just, we picked them out of the audience. They said, sure, I'll come on up. No, we did. So give our panelists a thunderous round of applause. We'll start down here. Looks like a deer in headlights. No, you've been on many of these. All right, Dr. Christina, tell us just a little bit about yourself and why you're here.
Well, I'm here. I have a podcast with the LA Tribune, and thank you for having me. And I'm a psychologist, and I'm also a certified eating disorder specialist. And the podcast is Behind the Bite, where I talk about eating disorders and body image issues.
Yeah, give that a round of applause. And we're going to teach this audience about applauding. We'll have that lesson next time. Okay, fantastic. Annika.
Yeah, so I'm Anniken Binns. I am from Norway, and I'm publishing a book with LA Tribune. So, yay!
Woo! Now, how long was that flight?
Well, there is no direct flight, really. So, 15 hours plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're still with us. I like that.
Yeah.
This is good.
I like being here.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. Fantastic. Noelle.
Hi there, I'm Noelle Agape, and I am an executive producer, a TV host, and a author, and critically acclaimed author. I want to just say thank you to Marak and Ava Manuel that co-produced my book, and I'm here because it is out now here in Barnes & Noble and on Amazon and across the world, and it is The Road to Agape Love and finding a journey of self-love, sisterhood, motherhood, and divine cinematic journey of love throughout the space and time.
Give that a round of applause. All right. Carmen.
Yeah, hi, I'm Carmen. Thanks so much for having me here. And I am an author. I just wrote my book on Lead with Intelligence. And it's a women's guide to thriving in the age of AI. And what I do is I coach and mentor about leadership in AI. So thanks again.
No, thank you. Caroline.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carolyn Scott. I'm also known as the Healthy Voyager. I'm a holistic nutritionist, vegan chef. I host a travel show and a cooking show. I have several cookbooks, and I've written several novels, one of which is a Christmas story that is out. So this is the time of year to look for When Chris Met Kringle. It's a Mrs. Claus origin story. So that has nothing to do with all the other stuff I do, but I thought I'd throw that in there since we're at Barnes & Noble.
All right. We're just doing technical issues, but we got it all worked out. And by the way, if you ever run a show, it's not about perfection. It is truly about, am I bringing to the audience what I said I would? Am I honoring their time? So if I say we're going to be 5 hours, we'll be 5 hours, right? By the way, we're not going to be 5 hours. Don't worry about that. Just stay with us till we decide to go to bed. But you want to make sure that you honor the audience, you honor the message, and it's not about perfection. So let that part go. Okay, so the next question is, and we'll start at that end so you have no time to think about it, which is great. Audiences always want to know what keeps you going. And the question became a little expanded because, by the way, I'm off camera, but I don't need to be on camera. It's really the important piece at that point is it something you listen to, whether it's a podcast, that's new, right? We used to say, what book did you read to keep you going? Or what is a child, or what musical piece? But what is that? Is it some musical piece? Is it a podcast? Is it a book? When you have that moment where you feel like you just, I've had enough, or it's time to stop, or what keeps you going?
My mortgage.
Okay, okay, wait a second. Okay, wait. That is one of the best answers I have ever heard. This has been 25 years, okay? All right, we're going to lock that one in. All right, go ahead, Caroline.
I think I've always just had, and I was talking about this morning with a friend on the phone, it's always been like an inner fire. No one's ever had to tell me, hey, go do your homework or go finish this thing. I want to do something, I set my eye on the prize and I just do it. And I'm not a perfectionist. I just do it and get it out there, and then I can tweak it later. I don't hem and haw about, oh, it's got to be perfect. No one out there is gonna know. I'm just like, let me just do it. So it's just an inner fire.
Give that a round of applause. Awesome. And audience, by the way, out there on the internet, you can do the same thing. You can applaud, you can jump up and down. Make sure you don't yell and scream if you got a big house full of people, but it's all good, and your neighbors might not appreciate it. Carmen.
For me, I really like making a difference in people's lives, and that's what really keeps me going. But, there are times where you need a break, you need kind of take things and think about it. And I find that walking, just like exercise and walking, clearing the mind out in nature, just kind of brings me back and get grounded. So thank you.
Awesome. Give her a round of applause. By the way, I'm going to trade mics just for volume. There you go.
I would say what keeps me going is God, definitely my daughters and the humanitarian work I do around the world. We're building schools in Africa and water wells and changing lives globally. And 25% of all proceeds from all of my books go to changing lives around the world. So,
and the important part about that is that helps those mornings or those days where you go, because you're doing the betterment of others, and every day, especially water's a big thing, by the way, because we've done a lot with that too. Wells, Uganda, where we've done a lot of, yes, see, it's probably the same projects. But water for us is it's easier for us. Not everybody in this country, we can't, but it's easier. But when every day you're spending 5 hours a day going to get water, how do you get education? How do you get taught? Where's the safety? And it's huge. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, so I also have this inner drive just keeping me up all day long, working on my mission. And the drive is really spreading the knowledge about how the mind works, how our childhood shapes us, and helping people reprogram all those old patterns that are holding them back.
So I'm gonna put the mic back here just for 1 second. Give an example of what an old pattern is. I know you don't have, but just, short. I know.
Yeah, so we were speaking about vulnerability before, and I come from, the earlier version of me had such low self-esteem and low confidence, and it was the root belief that I wasn't enough. And I see that in almost everyone. And that is, the number one driving force.
Give that a round of applause. With the mic.
So I always felt this inner calling since I was really young to help people. And I've been told from many coaches and mentors, like we all have a gift. And I just feel like whatever gift we've been given by whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, that we're meant to be using it in this lifetime. And so I always think about that when I'm a psychologist. And so I feel like there's somebody out there that needs my gift, And so I remember that it's kind of, someone said it's selfish if you don't use your gift. And so that keeps in my mind. But I also feel like I don't know what else I would do. So it's just kind of something I do innately. So that keeps me going.
There is that part of us that we innately, make a difference. And so for everybody out there, you have more gifts. My head's cut off. They're telling me to move back. I can see the. So is this okay? Is this all right? Yeah, there we go. All right, but it's that part of ourselves that we are bringing ourselves out, and sometimes you need that other person around you. You need the person who I used to always talk about 3 coaches, 2 mentors, and a mastermind. And one of the coaches was the person, man or woman, who just kicks your behind. Literally just keeps you going no matter what. Doesn't have to know anything about your business. I know it's not a clinical term, but am I blocking you now? No matter where I stand, there we go. Here, I'll hunker back. But I think that's really important, is to find that person around you that you can hear them. Maybe you don't always agree, but you know that they do have your best intention and will help sort of that continual push forward. And that should be one of your coaches. We'll talk about that another day. Okay. So the other thing that's important that gets guests all the time is one routine, something you do that the audience could start doing tomorrow that could either change a mindset, keep them moving, take a look, whatever that is. What is one thing that you do every single day that either heightens your state, right? It could be a routine, a habit, a morning routine, whatever that is. What is one thing for you that they could take right away and use tomorrow? Caroline.
Self-care. Be selfish about your self-care. I'm a sleep Nazi. Like, don't mess with my sleep. I drink my water. I take time off. I make sure that nights and weekends are for me, for friends, for sitting home if I want to, finishing a project. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So you got to fill your cup first.
And, the great thing about that is there's all the studies on sleep. And sometimes, well, should I sleep 8 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever that is, you'll find that place, right? When you actually put yourself in the right state of mind in the evening, you will find that place. Sometimes it takes a little longer than you want, but you get there. Carmen.
Yeah, so for me, I like to plan things out. So kind of plan my next day. So the night, instead of like waking up and planning it right before I go to bed, I kind of think, well, what are my important things that I need to get done the next day? And so I kind of list that out. And so the next day, at least I know my priorities are there. And of course, things kind of go in between there, but planning is what I'd recommend on that one.
Great. Give that a round of applause. Awesome. Noelle.
I would say my prayer and meditation practice, it's an hour in the morning and an hour at night. And my family, home cooked meals, and discernment. Very, very discernment. I use do not disturb all the time. People that know me know that you can't get through at a certain hour. I shut off the world and I focus on my family and I focus on me and God.
Fantastic. Thank you. Give that a round of applause.
Oh, so many good things. And I just want to piggyback onto everything that has been said. Taking care of yourself, setting boundaries, sleep, health. It has always been a priority for me. And then last year, I realized I have so many great goals that I want to reach. And all the things I had done up until then had brought me where I was. And I realized in order to get further, I have to hone down on my routines. And I started a gratitude practice a year ago. And I hadn't before because I felt so grateful. I was happy. Everything was just okay. Like everything was perfect in my life. And I realized, okay, I need to, just hone down on these things. So this is my advice to all of you listening. Every morning, you can do it in the evening as well. I do a gratitude practice. And it's not only the things that I'm grateful that I have, it's the things I am grateful for, the things that I want in my life, the goals, and I write them down as if I'm already there every single day.
Give that a round of applause. Good.
So I have a sitting job. So movement is key for me. And just having been someone who had an eating disorder and helps people with eating disorders, oftentimes movement or exercise is used for weight loss, but I like to tell people movement is for stress relief. It's to clear my head. It's for all sorts of other things, for immune system. It's for self-care. It needs to not be about something other than that. So that's what I do in my day to day.
And that's an important piece, right? To make sure that we take care of ourselves. You know, when this comes up with a panel and there happens to be all women on this panel, it does go a lot to self-care. It's interesting how that, you know, that trends. And I think that's important because it's something that we should listen to. At the same time, who am I blocking again? Okay, here, I'll tuck back in here. Yeah, I know, that's right. At the same time, the next piece is really, what is that? So here's a question you never ask authors and podcasters, except for your own books and podcasts. What is a book or podcast that you would tell this audience they should start listening to? No, I'm watching you. I'm watching for that. All right, I'm going to go in the middle. You ready? Go ahead.
You Are the Universe by Deepak Chopra.
Well, that was quick. That was good. How many times have you read it? Take the mic back for 1 second.
About 10.
Okay, and what has the book done for you?
Changed my look on life and being human and the power within, and that's actually what the book is about. But it's generating the power from within you.
Okay, and was that book recommended to you at a certain time by somebody else, or did you come across it?
It was recommended to me in the darkest time of my life and changed my life forever.
Yeah. So does everybody hear what Noelle's saying? Don't be afraid to recommend, right? There's that tendency, you know, you don't want to push it on them, but sometimes it's just as gently as laying it down and letting them come to it if they can, made a difference in your life.
Changed my life forever.
Thank you. Give them a round of applause for that.
So I used to be really concerned about what people thought about me and just very sensitive about what was going on. And I would do things that I thought would please other people, and even though it wouldn't make me happy. So this podcast by Mel Robbins called, Let Them. So I just love this one because you just listen to her stories and what she preaches. And so it tells you to believe in yourself and just, lead and do it. And it makes you feel right. It doesn't matter what other people think about, what you do. Because at the end of the day, they don't really think about it or care about it. And you can spend all day just going, oh my God, I can't believe I did that or whatever. And so Let Them just kind of reminds me that it's okay to go ahead and do what you believe is right and just go ahead and make that difference. So for me.
That's great. Give that a round of applause. It's funny how we all hear things differently too, right? How many of you listen to I could poll the audience. You could all listen to the same podcast and you're hearing something differently because it's where you're at, it's the time you're at, it's the timing in your life. It's how many times did you read the book again? 10. And every time you read it, was there a different thought, feeling, something new, something you said, I can't believe I read it 6 times, but I didn't see that before. Every time. That's right. And so sometimes also you go through it once and you're like, not sure. You know what? Maybe I'll put it down for 6 months and then you read it again and you're like, changed my life. And that's where have that persistence part of yourself that's willing to come back. Always come back and be willing to look at. And sometimes you just move on. That's okay. Remember we talked about ecological earlier, no harm to yourself or others. And take the time, and sometimes this was actually Bob Proctor again, said you don't have to start the book from the beginning. Sometimes he starts right in the middle. Sometimes he picked the 3rd chapter, and that was the one that needed to speak to him at the moment. So do what it takes for yourself and make sure you're doing it for others. Okay.
The Magic. It's one of the secret books, but this one's like a 21-day challenge, and it completely changes your mindset. There's a gratitude day in there. Well, it's all about gratitude, but there's one, and I've taken things from the 21-day challenge and I use them every day. Not all of them, but most of them.
And that's the thing too, because sometimes, right, you come across things and there's it all speaks to you that day. Some of it speaks to you, as long as you're not shortchanging it. I'm getting impatient. I'm getting right where it's a TikTok generation, and that's okay, right? Now we got Substack, so that's a whole different story. But that's a great point, that you took the pieces, or you take the pieces, and you continue to move forward, and you reflect. That's right. Okay. Do you have a mic? Okay.
Yeah, so I have one of my favorite podcasts is, I might get the title wrong, but I think it's Feel Better, Live More with Rangan Chatterjee. He's a British doctor, and he touches on everything, connection, all the human things that are important to us, health and wellness. So yeah.
I like that. You know, that's great too, because that's one I haven't heard of. So I'll be, yes, thank you. Go ahead, Christina.
Excuse me for forgetting who the author is, but The Four Agreements was this wonderful book. And I just remember listening to it. Thank you. Thank you. I was having a moment. That I read it and I listened to it, and now I just sent it to my son. So he's about to turn 19. So yeah, great book.
I love it. Give that a round of applause. Last question before we wrap up. You know, it actually was in my head a second ago, and it just went whoosh. And it was the greatest question that I ever. And by the way, the audience just hears a voice right now. They don't even see anybody. The ones out there, isn't that good? So just quickly to really sort of pull together everything that you heard tonight, everything that's going on with you. What is one thing, comment, thought, whatever you'd like to leave the audience with today?
Stop mulling it over and thinking about it. Just do it.
Love it.
Just do it.
Love it.
Self-care. Take care of yourself first. If you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of other people?
Yeah.
Find your way back to love.
Mm.
It's all inside of you, and everyone is a reflection of you.
Yeah.
That you are enough, and as was mentioned earlier, we are all one.
Good.
Don't ever lose hope. That's all I want to say.
Awesome. All right, give our panelists a big thunderous round of applause. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and we'll have you go that way. This is my Vanna White. Is that good? Anybody know who she is anymore? You know, you start doing these references, they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I wanted to, you know, it's been a great show tonight, and the reason that you listen and you show up and you are on these things is because of learning, and we learn every single day. And it makes a difference how we learn and that's how we support each other, by doing this together. One person, one family, one mission. At the Los Angeles Tribune, it is about making a difference in your life every single day. So I'm going to bring back up my co-host. Let's give Prisa Rose a big thunderous round of applause here. And you're going to be like, we've done the thunderous round of applause. Applause, whatever you want to do. Is that good? Is that good? Yes. I know, that's right. So how'd you like the show tonight?
Honestly, I'm not going to say this one is my favorite, because you're not supposed to play favorites, but I'm going to say that this one held a very special place for me. I feel that the conversations we've been able to really cultivate over this entire year, I'd say, because we've been at every single event here that we've hosted. You and I have been here.
Yes.
We've had other people from our team here as well with us at different ones, but you and I have been through and through, tried, tested, and true, as I would say. And the evolution of this gathering that we've had, I'd say tonight was really special. It's grown a lot, and the quality and the depth of the willingness that people have come forward and just shared from a very different, unique place, and also just like the diversity of thought, like that. Heck yeah, I'm here for. Tonight was special.
It really was. It was a great, you know, it was a great group, and part of what we try to do is create diversity, because again, it's really taking a look at how many different perspectives there are out there, and how actually people can communicate, can discuss things with themselves, and can have a different point of view and still get along and go to dinner. How's that? Is that a good one? Is that
you know,
good?
it was an art.
Is that?
I feel like that people used to be able to do that back in the day, as in like even in my lifetime, but people are starting to lose it. But let's bring it back.
We are going to bring it back. That's good. So we're going to start out here. Everybody's going to pick a number 1 to 2. The 2s go to dinner. No. So
like what?
Yeah. Don't you remember when they did that at every seminar, right? You're picking one and two, and then you have to go to lunch together. And I don't want to talk to somebody I don't know. And by the end, you're all good friends. And then you have to go back to the seminar, and nobody wanted to go back because now the seminar people are like, you got to get back. But you told us to become friends. Those were fun days.
Resistance of the human condition. You
Absolutely. Every day.
know? Every day.
Every day. And that's why we keep doing this every day. That's why we keep the message out here.
Yes.
So any last words before we let them go at home? And you guys too, by the way.
Right.
Oh, by the way, don't forget, at the back table will be Parisa will be back there and Carmen will be back there. Everybody turn around and say hi, Madison. She's waving right now. Say hi. Madison is the event coordinator here and helped put this together. Give her a thunderous round of applause. Awesome. Also, Ava Manuel, our editor-in-chief, is here with us today. Give her a thunderous round of applause.
In-house.
By the way, ask her anything you want, and she'll fix you right away. I'm telling you right away. Is that good? Oh, no. Come on. Wait, Mike.
So people can hear you.
Go.
I'm just gonna be here because I'm not always here in person. I'm a live person, so that's it. Yeah, that's all there is.
Oh, that's pretty good. Give her a round of applause.
Many of you have heard about Ava. That is the Ava. Yes, Ava is usually virtual.
Right.
Yes.
She's like, so she's not AI, or we just did something really good. Wasn't that amazing? So thank you, Ava, for everything you do. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. Yes. I'd also like to bring up our CEO. Oh, I know he's going to. Let's give Mr. Mo Rock a thunderous round of applause.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to Noelle Agape on her wonderful, critically acclaimed book published by the Los Angeles Tribune. Congratulations to Anakin. Anakin's going to have a fantastic book that's going to impact the world, and we're very excited to have her as part of our family and tribe. And thank you to everyone watching online all around the world on the replay, and for making this the most unique, can I say the most unique community in the world of media? I think I can go out on a limb and say that. And God bless everyone. Back to you, Michael.
Awesome. Give Mo a big thunderous round of applause again.
Thank you, Mo. Most of you see Mo online, but I love that we got to have Ava and Mo make an appearance here in person.
Yeah.
Alongside Michael and I. That was special, I will say. Definitely.
It is special.
Yeah.
I know. We're getting comments online about the comedy routine, so we're going to have to talk about that. Also, let's give Mr. Jeff Ross, who got this virtual going, for everything from Tasmania, a big thunderous round of applause. You know when you do this, how you always forget somebody? So did I forget anybody?
I was just thinking about
I'm looking around. Alan.
Alan.
Go ahead. Your turn. You get to do Alan.
Alan is like the man that does all the things behind the scenes. Thank you, Alan. Alan is always here for support, caring things, figuring things out, troubleshooting. He's like the troubleshooting master, I will say. Thank you, Alan, for your support always. Thank you, thank you.
And let's give our authors and speakers a thunderous round of applause.
Yes.
Alicia Doss, who's been on stage.
Yes.
Oh, it seems like they know each other. I mean, this is good. Like relationships and and time together and
quality
it's conversations that bring.
It's the quality connections that came from conversation. You like the pun that I threw, just the reference
that
there?
was well done.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thanks.
That was good. And Alicia, I do like that you literally ran in, threw your jacket on. I think you hit the restroom quickly because, by the way, we have those needs. And then you ran right back on stage. So this should be an award, right? Give her a thunderous round of applause again because you were awesome.
We had phenomenal Pastor Troy as well.
Yes, Pastor Troy. Actually, so Ava, for 1 second before we do come, Ava, please tell us where Pastor Troy was headed to.
Oh, so tomorrow actually we're doing a big feeding program for Thanksgiving. It's an advanced Thanksgiving. It's the project of Christ-Centered Ministries, and so it's going to be La Brea tomorrow all day. If you're in Los Angeles, please come and support. We'd love to have celebrities like you come and serve our homeless and our community that are coming out of incarceration. So that would be a great thing. So
love that.
And where is it again?
It's going to be 742 North La Brea. It is just 12 minutes from the airport.
Cool. Yeah, perfect. Everybody got that? Give that a round of applause. And also our online team, if you can post that would be fantastic.
742 North La Brea.
Yeah, well done. All right. Well, it's been a great show tonight. I want to thank you all. I want to thank the team at Barnes & Noble. Thank everybody who put this together. I know Madison's back there again. Madison, you're amazing. You have supported us. You helped us set up. This was set up before we even walked in the door tonight, and you get it done every single time. I know you've been on camera. You just love being on camera. You know what I'm saying? Madison, thank you again. And Parisa, where are you going?
I was making sure that we didn't forget.
Did we forget anybody? Anybody supposed to be
Dr.
up here?
J.
No, they should all be. Oh, you want to go
Yes.
through like everybody we had up? I like this.
No, we
Let's
did.
give Dr. J a
we
big
were
round of
getting-
applause.
and I was
Let's
like,
give
wait
Jeff a round of
second.
watch this. Let's give Jeff a round of applause. I
Yes.
actually was listening tonight. We give let's give everybody.
Yeah.
Can we end this show or should we just keep?
No,
this
we're
is
gonna
the
keep
show.
going, and we're
Wait,
gonna
there was that
find
joke, the
people.
show that never ends. Was that a Seinfeld? I can't remember.
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
sure.
I would love to announce that the Road to Agape Love is available here in Barnes & Noble. So please go to our back room there too to grab it. It is such a wonderful story of love. Like it gives you hope in the possibility for love in real life, in real world with real problems. So
There you
thank you for writing it.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you,
thank
Abba.
you, Parisa, for
Thank you.
assisting,
Thank you,
for
Michael.
helping, for being here at every show we've ever done here.
Yes.
And always supporting everything that we do at the Tribune and you just your focus, your mission, and making it better every single day. Tim, I know Tim.
Guys, everyone that's
Come
watching
on,
is like,
Tim.
these people are wild. We are, and we own our weird.
You know,
As I
isn't that the
mentioned
way it
earlier.
is? Isn't that so
Yeah.
true? Tim,
Tim, come on up.
Tim,
This
you're
is a
wet.
special night.
Is it raining and it's LA?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Hi.
Hey, Tim, how are you, Tim?
I'm very well. It's nice to be here. 3.5 hours, and I'm going to get there.
You know, but you showed up.
That's right.
Isn't it? You've taught me that. You've mentioned that before about just showing up.
That's right. How do you get your yes in life? Is by showing you're capable.
Everybody get that? We have an audience right there online, by the way.
Yeah, and that's a big important thing in earning trust, in getting people to relax.
Right.
Is to be capable and prove it, show it. And then when you do show it again and show it again. And then all of a sudden you're trusted because you said yes and people say yes to you. So that's my message today is say yes.
Thank you. You know, and one thing just, unless you got, one thing really
Go
quick
for it.
is with what you've done in a lot of your life, right? People don't always trust, right? Because they're like, what does he do? Yeah, I know what you do, right? Tell them just a couple minutes on what you do and how you bring that trust in. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm a
Mic up.
magician. I'm a magician. And so there's a lot of like, already, right? Watch your wallet is probably the most common thing I hear. So how do you earn trust and how do you get people to say, how do you get there? Capability is really this is where I'm coming from. It's really coming from capability. And it came from this lady right here sitting in front. Noelle walked up to me and we were just finishing up dinner in Carlsbad. And she comes right up to me and she goes, "What's your why?" Wow. It hit me hard. This woman right here. And I took in that moment, I said, well, I'm capable. I've always wanted to be capable. I've always been capable. David Copperfield asked me to work for him. I need some help around here. Would you be willing to work for me? I had to say yes to him. Powerful. When I approached Monty Hall with Let's Make a Deal, the first time I said, hey, I'd love to do your show. And he said, well, it's not big enough for me to get involved with. And so when I hung up, this is back in the 90s, I hung up the phone, I walked back to my truck from the phone booth. And as I got into my truck, I said, well, he didn't say no. He said it wasn't big enough. 4 years later, I called him cold. I said, do you remember talking to me? Oh, refresh my memory. Next thing I know, I'm sitting in his living room here in Beverly Hills. And he gave me the rights to Let's Make a Deal. And that's a 4-year not accepting even a decline. How do you accept failure? We all accept positive because it comes to us. You know, it's like, oh, I won the lottery, great. But what happens when someone dies or you have a loss? How do you balance your life and keep your keel in the middle? Because circumstance is going to hit you from both sides. Messy and juicy, as Victoria Castle says. And so how do you keep your keel? So there you go. I mean, that's what I'm coming in today with. So
I love that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that contribution. Absolutely stellar. On
Yeah.
point.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming and driving the whole way to be here.
Right.
Awesome. That was great.
I know.
You know what's really funny is
Yes.
by the way, Tim, when you mentioned Let's Make a Deal, I'm thinking, okay, so either you're aging us or how many people out there know what Let's Make a Deal is? I want you to look this up because this was a big deal. Let me tell you, it was one of the top shows ever in history.
Right.
So this was a big deal. Tim, thank you again. Give him a round of applause. All right. Any last words? Oh, that sounds. This is terrible. This
We're
is
like any last words for the 14th time.
Right.
No.
Anybody else want it?
final
No.
words. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you. You're amazing.
She
Oh yeah.
did beautifully.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Mic drop too. Absolute mic
Catch
drop.
the replay for all of these beautiful moments.
Right.
Thank you, CJ.
CJ,
I'm also
thank you for
giving-
being
I'm
here.
being
Yes.
noted. Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you,
Woo,
CJ.
CJ.
Always on call, always ready to go, always a helping hand.
Uh-huh.
And receiving my random jokes and weirdness. Thank you, CJ. I don't have any. Those are my final words.
You're good.
Are
we good to close?
These are the final. Yes. On
Yeah.
behalf of our esteemed CEO, Mo Rock, and myself, Michael Silver's here. Thank you. Thank you all that esteemed. Yes, as my mom would have said. Those are SAT words. We're past the SAT, but it's ingrained.
Oh my
It is ingrained
gosh.
in me. Yes, unfortunately.
SAT words. I
SAT
like
words. Do they still
that.
do those? They do.
They do.
Anyway.
I
back
did
to
really well on the SAT.
The squirrel is not getting me distracted in the shiny object.
Not at all.
We're here.
Not
We're
at all.
focused.
Yeah. We're going to be here for another 3.5 hours, by the way. So we're practicing our routine right now, but this is a really good thing. So anyways.
Anyway, thank you all for those that are here in the store with us here at Barnes & Noble at the Grove. Thank you for being here with us. This is our final event for 2025 here. We are taking December off. So it is a very special evening to be here with us. So thank you for those that have traveled near and far, and really, really, really far to be here with us tonight. And Michael, final
Awesome.
words.
Yeah,
from
final
you.
words.
I'm
I know.
done.
I want to thank everybody online for being with us. Really share this stream with everybody that you know, because let them have whatever experiences is for them. Let them have that same experience you just had, whether it's one speaker, the whole show, whatever it was. Let them just live it, and it's there. It lives online, and they can listen to it. They can take a look at the Los Angeles Tribune and see what we are truly about. Don't forget, by the way, if you're here, go to the back table. Please see Madison. Check the books. Talk to Parisa. Talk to Carmen. Where'd Carmen go? There she is. There we go. Right in front of me, you know? I know there's a joke around that too, but and really go back there and listen and learn. Anybody who was also up here on stage or talked today or presented, have a conversation with them. Remember, we're talking about conversations. Listen, ask a question, get more than you can. I wanted to thank everybody for being here. From myself, Parisa Rose, and Mr. Mo Rock, we want to thank you for being on the show tonight. And
That is all.
wow, this is good. I almost don't know how to end it tonight, right?
Be
Usually
well.
I know. And thank Dave. By the way, Dave, thank you for running the stream online, running it all the way from Brisbane. I knew there was one more. So thank you, Dave.
And
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And
Bye.
Sarah,
Yeah.
Jeff's wife, who has been here.
Yeah,
and
the
tolerated
shyest
all of our
man.
stuff.
That,
She's right here.
That's good. You want to come up again, right? So she's right. She's here tonight. She was out. We put her up. She didn't even know she was coming up. So you're welcome. Oh, and look, Parisa, did you see this? Did you
Good
see?
night, all.
Did you? Good night, all.
Good night. Be blessed.
Farewell. So no, okay. All right,
Be blessed.
we want to
I'm
thank
not
you.
gonna sing. End the stream.
Yeah, and by the way, the Los Angeles Tribune, we have